Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this very platform once again. Thank you so much for being part of this platform. I appreciate everyone that is contributing in one way or the other to support this very platform. I thank you so much. We have come once again to preach the gospel of Biafra the way we have always done. Remember, in this very platform, we don't come here to instigate violence. We do not come here to preach hate. All we do here is preach the gospel of peace, the gospel of freedom, to bring the plight of the Biafran people before the whole world and to debunk every lie that the contraption called Nigeria have been telling against the Biafran people. That is what we are about to do now. Wonderful Biafrans, as you all know, the journey of freedom is still continuing in this era under the Biafra Republic government in exile on the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. He is doing everything humanly possible to see that Biafra becomes free. Pay attention to this short clip. You will understand that all is not well. And the only way for you, as an indigenous person in that country called Nigeria, is to fight for your own freedom. If you're a Biafra, join the Biafra movement. If you're an Udua, join the Udua people. If you're from Arewa, fight for your Arewa. If you're from the Middle Belt, join the Middle Belt movement. That is the only solution. I want you to watch this clip from beginning to end. You'll be glad you did. Let's watch.
Let me turn our attention to Chief Segun Shewumi here with me in the studio. Your party has come out today and said this is an assault on Nigerians. Is that how your party sees it? Or
that's how
the situation is?
That's how all Nigerians see it. Sheung, in 2014, they managed to win an election that they then became in charge of the country by 2015. The price per liter was 97 naira. And as at 2012, they resisted vehemently that the Nigerians could not afford an increase. And as a feeling right-thinking government, we backed down because you are not serving yourself, you are serving the citizens. Between 2015 to date, they have brought the price to, some would say 800 and something, some would say 900, some would say over 1,000. They make the most annoying excuse as though they sought our permission as Nigerians before they devalued our currency, making us now have a painful exchange rate of $1 to 1,600 naira
at the parallel market.
At the parallel market, it's almost the same because they've liberalized it down, but there's no room for arbitrage. So they say our currency has become the weakest in the sub-region, weaker than the CFA. And now they come to town and tell us that, okay, in 2023, before sitting down to understand what's in the books, subsidy is gone. If you recall, Sheung, at that time I said they would have been more clever to have said we're increasing the price because they are making a promise they won't be able to keep since you are going to be dealing with a product that's dominated by Forex. And then they also kind of like liberalize it and all of that. Look, my friend is not right when he says the landing cost per refinery is 50 cents, is 700 or 800, and that's not correct.
In a global standard.
In a global standard, it's not correct. In the global standard, the cost of a barrel of crude now is about $73. From one barrel of crude, you will get about 159 liters of petrol. If you do the math, and then you then ask yourself, do the refineries in America, are they paying salaries in Naira that you will now say the cost of, what do you call it, the cost of labor is the same? You will tell me that your cost of taxes are the same, your excise duty is the same, the money you use to transport is the same, the Look, we can be deceiving ourselves that a nation, just like when the French Revolution was coming, that people can come and speak government out of the mess government has created without taking into cognizance the mood of the country, the pressure of the people, their ability to survive, and without taking also into serious cognizance the central role of these things on the life of the smallest person in the farm, on the villages, and the cost of transportation. The federal government is joking, and they had better do everybody in this country a favor, revert the numbers. Why? Because the federal government, the president cannot say, I am the Minister of Petroleum, and then he will sit on top of that responsibility over and above the big responsibility of being president and be explaining to us in a manner that he should have ordinarily been impeached. Because you can't tell us that, see, the NNPC is saying they've been carrying a burden of $6 billion. Who authorized them to carry that? Who made the appropriation? Who gave them authority? Who appropriated it? Where did they get the right to do that?
But they were the
federal money. That is besides the point. Federation's monies are not spent like that. They're saying now that they have to make appropriation, or they're going to give $3 billion to the federal account. That's the last thing they say. Look, Sheon, a nation is not run as if it's your private enterprise. There is separation in the government, and there is a National Assembly that is supposed to legislate and give you appropriation powers to do certain things.
But Mr. Shagumi, the NNPC,
let me launch.
Is the federal government saying that, look, we are not privy? The market forces are taking control. If the NNPCL says they've spent this money, but what we are hearing is, in fact, the availability problem was caused because NNPCL is owing to the tune of billions of dollars to those who have lifted, and that's why
you need to let me land.
And I'm saying
the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Tinubu, with due respect, could not have said this nation is not paying subsidy, and then one entity under this federation that does not have powers to run as if it's on the moon, in Mars, or in Jupiter, will now come and tell us that, oh, we have been buying the fuel, and they are scared of using the word subsidizing it. Who appropriated that?
So invariably they've been subsidizing.
They've not used the adjective subsidizing. They will have to come and tell us who gave them permission to appropriate our monies in that manner. One, how can you run the most important thing that carries our economy in such an opaque and a voodoo manner? And when we speak to these issues, with due respect, when we speak to these issues because the fact that they are in government does not mean they love the country more than those of us that are not in government. And they got a very small, very, very small number to come and run this country. Therefore, they don't even have the majority right to be running all of us into trouble. The cost of living of our people is very, very, very high. They can barely cope. Our unemployment figures are very, very high. They can barely make a living. You have just said you are going to pay civil servant 70,000 naira. We have not seen how that is going to be, matched by private sector. Those who are not even on the payroll still have to survive. At the same time, you have increased the cost of energy. People still have to survive. At the same time, they even have the temerity to say they are going to increase VAT by 10%. Let us just be clear. The last outing when people were going on, they were going to say they're going to shut down the country and all that. We pulled them back with all our strength and didn't join it because we felt that, okay, let's just manage that period. You cannot insult our sensibility with less than a month after such an event, and you are telling us now you are moving it to what? Who gave them the right to do that?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If you were the CEO of a private company,
which company is that?
No, I'm just giving an example. If you are a CEO of a private company, and the kind of statement that came from the NNPCL over the weekend, which a lot of people felt offended by, and in any case, coming out and unveiling to Nigerians what they have been doing that has become less transparent. What would you be doing to such the head or the leadership of such an entity?
There is, you see, I have wondered, except to maybe if they have some crooked underarm dealings that government is just allowing them to get away with. There is no reason why Mile should be sitting down on that chair.
I'm imagining
he has been in charge
the
of
National Assembly.
He has been
just a moment. I'm asking you a question in the direction of where you are going.
Yeah.
That if Mr. Mele Kyari, who says he is in charge of a private entity that government has a stake in, is answerable to the private interest in a capitalist economy, what about the interest of the Nigerian people as represented by the National Assembly if this kind of thing is going on? Over the weekend and now, shouldn't any reasonable National Assembly representing the voices of the Nigerian people be calling Mr. Mele Kyari and everybody that is involved to question them and answer to Nigerians the question about these prices, isn't it?
A serious National Assembly will not just be calling Mele Kyari, it's too small. A serious National Assembly will be calling the president, who doubles as the Minister of Petroleum, to come and answer charges. Appropriation is a very serious issue. One of the easiest way to get yourself into impeachment is for you to abuse your responsibility and authority. Somebody has some explanation, some serious explaining to do. I ask you, is the NNPC, whether it is privatized or not, running our national asset of crude and all of that on its own whims and caprice? And is it spending the resources that it makes by the sales of our national asset on its whims and crasses? Who gave them the authority to be balancing up the books and the numbers? How come they could have told us that there's no subsidy, and they're coming out to tell us not only have there been subsidy, they're telling us we are even owing to the tune of almost $6 billion, and then to slap us in the face in a most annoying and unfeeling manner. They're telling us they're going to change the price just like that.
Hold on, Mr. Oshowumi. We're going to go on a break just in a moment, but I like to also balance this conversation because the presidency has been reacting about these subsidies that you're talking about. And this is what Mr. Bayo Nanuga said. He said, and I quote, "The Tinubu government did not lie about fuel subsidies. I have read a series of articles attacking the federal government for not telling the truth about fuel subsidy payments, following NNPC Limited's admittance that it was owing suppliers some $6 billion US. The truth is that there is no discovery, no lie uncovered. The government has been faithful to its policy that it was no longer going to pay fuel subsidies since President Tinubu announced the deregulation of the PMS sector on the 29th May 2023. Since then, subsidy provisions have disappeared from the budget. It was not in the supplementary budget of 2023, not in the 2024 budget, and the amended 2024 budget. How do you react to that?
They're acting in a more annoying manner. It means that not only are they spending without appropriation, they are even spending money that nobody knows where they are getting it from. So when people say our oils are stolen, our oils are not made, we're not auditing it well, we don't know how much we've made, why would you be disappointed when the people that are in charge of the government have the temerity to be telling us that NNPC has been spending that much money on whose authority and by whose approval?
The presidency has said we do not know anything about it.
Really?
They say ask NNPC.
That is an impeachable offense. The man doubles as the Minister of Petroleum.
But they said that it has been deregulated.
That your grandfather was a thief. Does that mean if your father steals a goat, they will not accuse him of being a thief? That was what happened then. This we're talking about now. I just told you the figures and how much we were selling it then. 97 naira. And how much are they telling us come and buy it today? Can the Nigerians even afford it? It's one thing for you to be running a for-profit country in the midst of people that get enough wages that they can get by. You want to run a for maximum profit country so that you can sickle in money, share it with the states and local government without the commensurate ability to supervise and know what they are doing with the money, and the Nigerian citizens will be the one bleeding. They have something coming.
All right.
And they will be shocked at what will come at them.
Let's take a breather, everyone. But when we come back, more analysis for us to do. And of course, NFC is on the other hand. They're saying they're already meeting and cooking up plans on how to properly
After watching this very video I played, do you still have any doubt in your mind that Nigeria can never survive? My fellow Biafrans, it is either freedom or nothing. Continue to guide and protect the Biafra Republic in exile. Protect our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa and protect our Supreme Mazi Nandika. Biafra government, peace, unity, progress and equity. We move airborne.